used to think manifestation was for people who had better intuition than me. That people were just born knowing how to attract what they want, while the rest of us had to work harder, think smarter, and gather more proof. Then I tracked my own results, every manifestation that actually worked, over 3 decades, and found the pattern. 5 elements were always present. I had clarity about the exact outcome. I trusted my intuition despite everyone's doubt. I read the evidence the universe kept showing me. I held unshakable belief in the process. And I took consistent action even when logic screamed at me to stop. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Modern Wisdom with Dawn Ricci. I'm Dawn, and that's when it hit me. I realized this wasn't just for that one breakthrough. This was literally a roadmap, a manifestation quotient intelligence system, and it meant every single desire I had, every ideal relationship, thriving business, financial freedom, they were all just puzzles with the same 5 pieces. So each episode of this podcast, we're now going to examine how these dimensions show up in real life and how they test what strengthens us and track what gets in our way. Let's face it, we all don't need more woo-woo affirmations to make a better life for ourselves. We need to understand the system. Let's get started. If you've ever Googled how to lose weight, you've basically signed yourself up for a lifetime of confusion, contradiction, and someone trying to sell you a $47 protein shake. You got keto, paleo, intermittent fasting, juice cleanses, eat 6 meals. No, wait, just eat 1 meal. Cardio is king. No, cardio is dead. Lift heavy, lift light. Don't lift at all, just walk. Oh, take these 14 supplements 6 times daily. I'm exhausted just saying that out loud. Here's what I know. We are drowning in all this crazy advice, and most of us still don't even feel good. So what if the answer wasn't another diet plan? What if your body already knows what it needs, and you've just never been taught how to listen to it? Boing, that's a light bulb moment. That is exactly what today's guest is all about. R.L. Malpica is a certified detoxification specialist and the founder of the E.A.T coach. His whole philosophy, what he calls E.A.T, is built around energy efficiency, avoiding acid-forming foods, and the understanding of toxicity. And yes, he means detoxing the whole thing. Your body, your mind, and your energy field, because he believes real transformation starts with intuition and intelligence. His approach isn't about restriction and punishment. It's about aligning your body's natural intelligence, working with nature instead of dreading failure again. And here's the thing, he lived with this transformation himself. This isn't theory. This is the man's life. And because we are living in an age of AI, and honestly, we are ready for it, the best is RL has developed his very own GPT, own AI-powered virtual detox coach. We're going to get into all of that today. And honestly, I cannot wait. Bathing suit season is among us, people. It is coming. And I'd love to feel I chose this body rather than wearing a muumuu at the pool. Wouldn't you? Let's go. RL, thank you so much for coming here. I am so excited. I have been waiting for this. I know we had a little bit of snafu. I had to change the date and everything else, but I'm so grateful that you were so cooperative with me. Thank you.
For sure.
Everyone, this is R.L. Malpica. He is the bomb. He knows about diets. He's tried them all. So tell me right out of the gate, because I know everybody is waiting. Why do you believe most diets don't work long term?
Well, I think that the main thing is that most people are looking for some type of quick fix. They're looking externally for something that
Yeah.
needs to be healed internally. And ultimately, they never get to the root cause of the issue. So that's why they go through a bunch of different diets and it might work for a little bit, but then ultimately falls off.
Right, right. And then that little voice, the little gremlin that's on the side. Remember that movie Gremlin? That's how
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like I have that gremlin, like, eat the cheese doodles, eat the cheese
Mhm.
doodles, you know?
Oh, yeah.
That's me,
Oh,
10
yeah.
o'clock at night. Do you feel like certain times at night, like our body shifts like that?
Well, I mean, I think what happens is your body is a creature of habit,
Mm.
and whatnot. Your body actually is telling you not to eat after 8 o'clock every day. But since we're so far away from nature and our natural instinct, we don't even understand that feeling. So we start listening to other things within our body, like our mind, our neurotransmitters, and things of that nature. And that's why we end up eating foods we're not supposed to, or eating in general after a certain time.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what,
Yeah.
kind of clouds us a little bit.
So how did you come to this epiphany that you've lost 30 pounds
Yeah.
naturally? I mean, that's huge, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it was kind of I don't know. Can I cuss on this podcast?
Yeah, you can.
Ish, a little bit. Okay.
Ish a little
Um,
bit.
a mind fudge. How about I say that? A mind
Okay,
fudge.
okay, okay, okay.
Uh, about almost 9 years ago, I became a vegetarian, and I thought if I
Uh,
go vegetarian, well, man, I'm going to be healthy, I'm going to lose
yeah,
weight, all these different things, and it didn't happen,
right.
because I just basically was replacing meat with meat alternatives and heavy starches and more cheese, right? So I started gaining weight,
Yeah,
and
big misconception. People
huge,
they don't realize that they have to really read labels and what is in vegan or, healthy, what's claimed to be healthier
for
food
sure.
or meatless. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in that.
Right. So I started to notice I was gaining weight, and I got to a point where I was like, and this is I had a podcast myself, so I was on, and I had other streaming content I was doing, and I was like, man, I'm getting bigger, I'm not getting better. So at that same time, the pandemic kind of hit. And that
Yeah,
kind of forced me to dive deeper into health and how the body actually works. And that's
yeah,
ultimately how this became my passion because of that. And throughout that entire process, I figured out that we're not eating our natural diet. And once I started implementing the natural foods that we're supposed to be eating, the weight just fell off. And I've been able to sustain it since then. And, pretty much
Well, you
shifted my
said you
entire life.
had, but you said you had eczema, you had
Hmm.
irritable bowel syndrome, chronic headaches. I
Hmm.
mean, that's like those things right there really can hinder your daily life.
100%. Yeah, and not only just from a physical standpoint, from a mental and a confidence standpoint, because like
Yeah.
when you're a kid and you're told that, you have stomach issues, and I was also told that I was lactose intolerant, right? And then you have eczema, that's on your body. I get eczema everywhere, my eyes, the back of my ears, the back of my
Wow.
neck, it's just it's hard to have confidence when you got rashes all over your body, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah, and there's the shame aspect added to it as well. But the truth is, for the irritable bowel syndrome and any type of gut issue, the majority of the time, it's only because we're eating foods that we're not supposed to be eating in the first place. So these diagnoses and these people who make you feel like you have an issue, you don't have an issue. You're just not eating the right stuff. Once you eat the right stuff, your stomach's fine. In
Yeah.
fact, someone who actually has irritable bowel syndrome or some type of gut issue to where they're eating certain foods and it just isn't working for them, that's their body actually working because your body's not supposed to be having those foods. So your body's immediately telling you, you don't need this. So we're going to try to get rid of it as fast as we can. That's a positive, not a negative. So that's kind of the
Right.
paradigm shift of the mental aspect.
Right. Wow. So one of the things that I was looking when I was researching this too for you was for this time together was there such cultural foods, like me being Italian. Oh
Mm,
my God, everything's about pasta.
right.
Everything's about, pizza and everything's breaded. And
Mm,
so that's like, that was a huge shift for me to be conscious of starting to look exactly what I eat
for
all the
sure.
time. And growing up in a household that was 100% Italian, where my dad, he always wanted his pasta and beans and things like that. And my mom, she cooked the best she could. She was an amazing cook. Oh my God, nobody
Mm.
beats my mom's sauce, right? Sauce or gravy. That's the big, is
Oh,
it
yeah,
sauce or
right,
gravy? Depends
right,
on which
right,
state I'm
right.
from, right? But seriously, you know, um, I think that, I look back now, first of all, I was a fat kid, plain and simple, fat kid, googly glasses, My parents not only didn't supposedly cook healthy, they thought they were cooking healthy,
Right.
but the other thing that just popped into my head was you weren't allowed to get up from the table unless you finished every single meatball,
For sure. For sure. Yes.
right? So
Yeah.
did you experience that too?
Oh yeah, like my mom's classic line is if you don't finish your food, it's a sin,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, absolutely. It's a
Yeah, like
sin.
yeah. Waste not, want not. That's another one. All
Yeah.
these different conditioned
Yeah.
phrases and cliches that, when we look back at it, we're like, wow, I can understand why I'm in the situation I'm in today. But
Right.
yeah, coming from a Hispanic background, my mom, we ate a lot of Puerto Rican and Mexican food, heavy fried stuff, rice is obviously a heavy starch, chicken,
Yeah.
pork chops, things like that. And yeah,
Yeah. Pork chops. We always had pork chops too. My gosh, she used to fry those up. I don't even eat, like, I'll eat sausage now. Like, it has to be
right.
masqueraded. For me to eat like pork and beef, even chicken, I
Hmm.
found that doesn't do it for me. I eat turkey. Um, but if it has to be masqueraded, I can't just like eat a hunk of sausage.
Right, right.
I don't know if you
Hmm.
feel that way. Well, you're a vegan now, right?
Well, yeah, 100% plant-based, yes.
Wow, God bless. I don't know. You're better than me. I don't know if I could take that plunge, you know.
Right, right.
But so you just mentioned about part of the conditioning that our brains have. Want to touch upon that?
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the world that we're born into, like we don't. Well, if we want to get spiritual, technically we do
Yep,
pick where we're born, and we do, sign those contracts
we
metaphysically.
do. We do.
But from the 3D standpoint, like we're born into a world that already exists. And from a health and a diet standpoint, there's already like societal guidelines put in place, right? You're born into that. Your parents are conditioned. They're conditioned by that world. So they're going to teach you those same conditioned concepts. So you're born into it and you look at health from a certain perspective. Now, once you do your own research and you start to look to nature and understand who we are physiologically in nature, you'll see that everything you've been taught about health, shouldn't say everything, not everything, mostly everything you've been taught about health is incorrect. And that's where you kind of go through that, break that conditioning, that unlearning phase, and, start to build yourself back up after that point. But yeah, we've been conditioned pretty bad.
Yeah, 100%. Even with the diets, like even with
Yeah.
the trying to get the diets, and when that's kind of what I said, even in my introduction for this, was that like it's enough already. Like you do you, like you got to do you. You have to do what you're feeling inside, and you're absolutely right on the spiritual side. I'm with you 100% on that. Um, we all have a lineage. We all come from
Hmm.
different lineages from different parts of the world. And if we think back in our lineage, in our family tree, on, even in before that, our bodies, our cells are comprised of all the remembrances, all the memories, all the threads of who's ever been before us, our family, and who we are today, from what we were before to who we are today. So say,
100%.
right, right. So say, all right, say like, if I had a Viking lineage and I was born in Norway back in the Viking days, well, I'd be ripping apart like beef and lamb and all those other things, right? And that might be okay for my blood, for my cells, But some people who are from a different part of the world, they're better off with the fishes, fishes and lighter foods, and they can't eat that. And that's part of their DNA.
Okay, so there's a lot of yes in certain aspects.
Yeah, in retrospect, yeah.
If you're looking at, it really comes down to this. It comes down to tolerance. All right. So we all originally come from the same thing. We're all made of the same stuff. If we go,
Mhm.
however long you want to say, some people say 25,000, some people say 25 million years ago, whatever, doesn't matter. We go back to the original human, made of the same stuff, built to eat the same stuff, right? Built to eat
Yeah.
our physiological diet. But as migration has happened and people have moved to northern climates or western climates or whatever the case may be and had to survive, they started eating things that were unnatural, but they built up a tolerance to those things. So, yeah, so the Viking analogy per se, yeah, the Vikings might, or that lineage per se, if they're close, if an individual today is closer to that lineage, then they'll probably be able to tolerate certain foods better than other people who are not part of that lineage. A real easy comparison would be lactose. I talked about it earlier. If you look culturally, if you look at the Asian culture, 90% of the Asian culture is lactose intolerant. 90%. So
Oh, I didn't know
9 out of
that.
10 people cannot consume dairy products, right? If you look
Wow.
at the African and Latin Hispanic population, 50% are lactose intolerant. And then if you look at the Caucasian European lineage, only 10% because they're not as far removed from, consuming those dairy products as those other cultures. So at the end of the day, is dairy okay to eat? Is it good for you? No, it's not. But based on your cultural background, your lineage, you might be more tolerant than other places. Doesn't mean it's better for you. It just means that you're able to handle it better than those other cultures.
Huh. That's so well said. Thank you. Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
absolutely. So let's talk about healing a little bit. Let's just
Mhm.
turn this into a little bit about healing because food is healing. What blocks our healing?
We do. Plain and simple. So the body is actually a self-healing organism. You cut yourself, your body's going to heal it. You don't need to do
Yes.
anything. You don't need to add neosporin or whatever the case may be. The more we do, the less our body is able to do. So if we allow our body rest, if we allow our body no interference, it's going to heal itself. That cut is no different than anything that goes on inside your body. It's two
Mm-hmm.
things, your cells and your fluids. That's what you're composed of. So as when it comes to healing, the less we do, the more ability our body has to heal. The reason people have trouble healing is because we've just been, our eating habits are so bad now. We eat more than we should. We eat more times a day than we should, and we're eating the wrong foods. So my philosophy, the eat philosophy, the first thing is energy efficiency. It's like your body's profit and loss system. So you want to eat high energy electric foods that cause the least amount of burden during digestion, and that gives your body a surplus of energy to heal and revitalize your cells in your body. So
Yeah.
the problem is we don't do that. Most people are eating low energy foods that cause high digestive burden. So they don't have a surplus of energy. So
Right.
that's why people aren't healing. That's why disease ends up forming within the body because your body never has time or rest to heal.
Before we continue, I want you to pause with me for just a moment. Think about what you're hearing right now. Whether it's resonating, is it challenging you, or bringing something up? Is it bubbling up for you? Ask yourself, what evidence am I seeing in my own life about this? Not what you wish was true, not what you've been told should be true, but really it's what patterns are actually showing up. Take that question with you as we dive deeper. Right. Yeah. 100%. And people don't decide to make a conscious shift until either something happens, something comes through,
Yeah.
or it's just too late. Like, or, I mean,
Yes.
let me just say, it's never too late, but it just makes your life that much harder, or something that happens to a disease that creeps in, it just makes it
Mm,
that much harder to
for
heal,
sure. For
you
sure.
know? Um, and that's really kind of says, I was going to ask, what's the biggest shift that makes the difference? And I believe you just said it, it's mindset. It's how you treat your body.
Yeah.
Right? Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
100,
So it's
100%.
how
Yeah.
you treat and how you respect your body. Your body's like, the saying, your body's your temple. Hello, it is.
Yes. I live by
It's only, you only got one,
that. Right.
that's it.
Yes.
Um, so your philosophy centers around the EAT
Yes.
system. Each system is, you said, energy efficiency, avoiding I can't even say it, avoiding acid forming foods, and
Hmm.
reducing toxicity. Well, I'll tell
Yes.
you right now, I get that. I agree 150%, because I release the acid forming foods in my body. I am so much better.
Hmm. Yep. And that's your body's wisdom, your body intelligence. It's incredible that when you start eating the right things, how your body will speak to you and tell you. And then if you start eating the wrong things afterwards, it'll let you know real quick. The problem
Yeah.
is so many people are eating the wrong things that they're not even able to hear and don't have the awareness of what their body is actually telling them. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. That was like total simple terms. And that's what we needed to do with it. But tell me, like, about the fruit-based and fruit lifestyle that is into the philosophy that you have, because
Yeah.
I
So
believe that's really powerful.
yeah, so like, if you're looking at the EAT, the first two parts of it, the energy efficiency and acid forming foods, right? Those two kind of go together because energy efficiency, you want high electricity foods, low digestive burden. Fruit is the most electric food on the planet. And this has been measured. It has the most electromagnetic energy than any fruit. It absorbs all the elements during its birthing process to its expression, right? It is the food that is specifically made for humans. Like this, that is the food that we are meant to eat, right? So high electricity, the easiest to digest. Our digestive system is built to digest fruit, right?
Can
So
you give
you're
me an example, like which fruits?
all fruits. I mean, your
Oh,
fatty fruits are going to be they're going to take a little bit longer to digest. Like
okay.
your avocado and your
Oh,
coconuts will take a little bit longer, but still great for you. You just don't want to eat those all the time because they are pretty heavy in fat. But all your other fruits, from your berries to your bananas to your subacid fruits like grapes, mangoes, apples, all amazing for you. And even your veggie fruits, your zucchinis, your cucumbers, your tomatoes, all eaten raw, all amazing for you. Right?
okay. Eaten raw.
Yes. So
Okay.
not
Do
cooked, basically.
yeah, yeah. So are you a raw vegan?
I'm not a raw vegan. Like I'm not a big label guy.
Yeah.
I am a
Yeah.
fruit based. Like majority of what I eat is fruit.
Yeah.
So about 80 to
Okay.
85% I eat fruit and leafy greens. So like your iceberg lettuce, romaine
Y-
lettuce, things of that
Yeah.
nature,
Yeah.
for salads. But then the other 15 to 20% is going to be 100% plant based. So I eat a little bit of cooked food, but mostly
Okay.
raw food.
Okay. Interesting. Um, does wine count? What about alcohol?
Well,
Grapes.
alcohol is
You said
interesting.
grapes. You said
Right,
grapes.
right. So your body, if you look at alcohol, what is alcohol? It's fermentation, right?
Mm,
So like if you're looking at wine, right? It's fermented grapes. Now, fermentation is not a good thing for the body, but your body can handle a certain amount of alcohol. Now, if you're drinking alcohol all the time and you're down in a bottle every day, no, that's not good. But if you had a glass once in a while, it's not the end of the world. There are
yeah.
plenty of other things that are worse for you. You
Yeah.
know, I would say drinking a glass of wine every once in a while is better than eating a steak every once in a while.
Yeah. So it's funny. Back in the day, you know, back in the day, between always having a glass of wine in my hand and a cigarette, um, I think about it now. I'm like, oh my God. And I was like really thin, but I guess it was just, activity, but the activity that was going on. between lifting and running and all these other
Right.
crazy
Yeah, yeah.
things that we used to do to our body. But I think about all the wine that we used to drink like on a weekend,
Yeah.
and now here I am, in the next phase of my life, in a senior phase of my life. Um, I have a glass of wine now. My husband and I will go out to dinner and like we'll just drink water. Like that was so unheard of in our younger days. But I will tell you this, a lot more young people are not drinking as much as they used to.
It's true. Yes, that's
Now, I
very
don't know
true.
if it's a price factor or if, if it's that or if it's just that they're just being more health conscious.
Yeah, I think it's a mixture of, I mean, I'd say it's a mixture of both. I mean, I know one of the statistics that and it's kind of off topic a little bit, but kind of on
Yeah,
topic. I was reading something about Las Vegas and how Las Vegas, they're losing a lot of
I saw
tourism.
that.
Did you see that? Because
Yeah,
most
I
of the
saw it.
younger generation doesn't really drink, and they're not into the
Yeah.
shows as much. It's just a different, different vibe.
Yeah.
They're into different things, So,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
guess, I guess. But I just even, I just know even from myself that, I'm not apt to like, my husband and I would go out to dinner, like
Yeah.
here in Jersey, it's all BYOB.
Mm,
And we would bring our own bottle of wine and we would have a whole bottle, for both of us. Now we come home, if we bring a bottle, we're bringing half of the bottle home. Like we just don't
hmm.
drink a lot. And I think energetically we've evolved. Our stomachs can't handle it as much. Probably we don't
Hmm.
eat as much as we used to. I mean, we're much more conscious of what we put into our bodies now. And it takes time. It took time for us to like sit into that space and get into a healthier mindset. It really did. And today, I think it's easier. There's more information out there than ever before. It's just a matter of not getting discouraged to follow someone's path or a path that feels right to you, you
For
know?
sure.
So, you talked about the conditioning part, but now in the fruits and everything else. But
Hmm.
now I want to talk about the most exciting part of this.
Okay.
I am so excited for you. What inspired you to create the virtual AI detox coach, your own GBT, and how does it personalize health in a way that traditional programs just can't do?
I think the inspiration just came from the fact that there's such a lack of representation when it comes to natural health and technology and just voices out there. There's just a lack of it. And as much as I try to be out there as much as I can, I understand it from the client standpoint. Like, not everybody's going to be able to afford coaching or want to allocate the funds towards coaching or have the time for coaching or even want to put the energy into coaching. I've known that, just based on the fact that, I do a lot of consultations that don't always convert into actual, real meetings or programs. And a lot of the times it's because of those aforementioned recent reasons. So I was like, look, I'm good technologically. I understand that stuff. I have a plethora of notes and books and ebooks and this and that. I can build my own GPT. I can build my
Yeah.
own cheat code to help anybody who might not feel comfortable talking face to face with somebody or might not have the time or assets. So that was pretty much the motivation to do it, the inspiration to do it was that
Well,
right
that's
there.
awesome. Listeners, he's going to be I'm putting the link to that cheat code in the
Yeah.
show notes. Wink, wink. Sorry. So walk us through how it works. Like,
Yes.
you're gonna click on the GPT, and does it ask you questions? Like, what does it do?
Well, first off, like when you get the GPT, the Eat cheat code, you're going to receive kind of like a reference manual, right? That's kind of give you a step by step to help you get everything going. If anyone's familiar with AI tools or even ChatGPT itself, you go in there, you type in what you want, and it's going to respond. The difference with the cheat code is it's going to gather information from you, like real imperative information to actually help you and customize this plan and this thread and this conversation and this coaching session for you. So, whatever your issue is, let's say you want to lose 15 pounds in 3 weeks. Type that in there. It's going to prompt you with about 5 or 6 questions asking you, what are your dietary habits? How, what does your day-to-day mindfulness look like? What's your relationship with nature? Get all that information. And then it's also going to ask you for your astrological blueprint, right? If you have an astrological blueprint, or your human design, or if you have a natal chart, or if you just know your sun, moon, and rising, or if you just know your sun, put in that information, because that's where I think this thing really shines, because it builds the conversation, the session, and the plans based on who you are energetically, because we
Love
all
that.
hold different things. We all respond. We all have different behaviors. And that's where this thing really kicks in and makes it a incredible personalized experience for you.
Oh my God. I just love that. Yeah, it is a personalized, it is a personalized experience. Like it's really like all of a sudden I feel like spirit just dropped in. Like it is your blueprint. Like it's showing me cells like running through your veins. It's
Mhm.
everything about you. And it's an intuitive. I feel like it's naturally intuitive about what it's about you.
For sure.
And I find that I bet you once that you do it, you're going to be like, whoa, how did they know
Yes.
that about me?
Yes, it's
Right?
one of the most enlightening experiences that I've witnessed, not only for myself, but when I see
Yeah.
other people do it and they reach back out to me. Like for instance, I had an individual who, she was concerned about her weight, was talking about her weight and anything, and she was giving all the information. And through the message that she was getting from the cheat code, she found out that when she got her gallbladder removed, I think maybe 5, 7 years ago, that had a massive impact on her weight gain, and it broke down exactly why, and why with her sign and her astrological blueprint, that this made her more susceptible to gaining weight. And she was just mind blown. Like she just that's information she would never have gotten from any doctor or
No.
dietitian or anything.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. That is so fabulous. So everyone listening, you're going to go to the show notes and you're going to download that eat cheat code. Eat cheat code. So just before we wrap up,
Mhm.
and again, I'm going to have all the information in the show notes, but you did have written Detox Yourself, the secret of to freeing your mind and creating a healthy life.
Yes.
That's awesome. Tell us quick about that.
Yeah, I mean, like everything I talk about, we talked about the conditioning aspect. This book right here helps you detox your entire body, meaning your mind, your body, and your soul. And it shows you how it's all connected, from the conditioning that you're born into to understanding all the ways that society has conditioned you. And once you're able to acknowledge that and start to break that, then you shift into the creating the healthy life mode. Okay, so what do I need to do now that I've detoxed my mind? Now, how do I detox my body and my soul? And then it kind of gives you some guidelines of who you are naturally and how to ultimately get there.
Yeah, and also not only it's not even about just the food part of it and
Mm-mm.
eating right and exercise, it's all the games that are played up
Oh
here.
yeah, yeah. The
This
mind is
is the
first.
problem. It's
Yes, it
no,
is.
this is the problem that makes this do
Yeah.
that.
Well, think
Get
about it.
big.
Starting the diet is never hard. It's maintaining it, and it's dealing with the cravings. It's dealing with society. It's dealing with the
Yes.
voices. All
The
those different
voices in
things.
the head.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah. Fabulous. There's another ebook that he's offering, The Beginner's Guide to Transforming Your Health, Natural
Yes.
Reset. That's awesome. And again, it's going to be on the show notes. RL, oh my gosh, I had so much fun learning with you. I'm so happy for you. I wish you so much success on this
Oh, thank you
AI
so much.
GPT. Love it. Um, Thank you so much
No, I
again.
appreciate you having me. This was really fun. I enjoyed the conversation. I'll come on anytime. Just let
Wait,
me
he's
know.
got a podcast too. Tell me about your podcast.
It's in the making. I haven't made it yet.
Oh, 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 okay.
I do have a YouTube channel called under the Eat Coach with over I don't even know 250 videos. Who knows? But I do lives there, and I do videos every
Great.
week. But I do have a podcast coming out. It's going to be called Nature Over Everything.
Good.
Just don't have a
That's
launch date.
exciting.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you again. And thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. And we'll see you on Modern Wisdom with Dawn Ricci again. Take care. Okay, I'm completely inspired and hope you are too. So here's what I want you to do this week. I want you to track where are you strong in your 5 dimensions: clarity, intuition, evidence, belief, and action. And where are you guessing? And I want you to be honest about it. If you want to know exactly which dimension is blocking your manifestations, take my free MQ assessment. Head over to whatsyourmq.com right now. It only takes 3 minutes. You'll get your personalized score. You'll see exactly where you land and what you need to do next. This is Modern Wisdom with me, Dawn Ricci. Keep going. You got this.